Good evening, everyone, and welcome to everyone's favorite bottle episode that favors roleplay over combat. It's a surprise round! I'm Ansel Birch, the Indecisionist, and I will be your Dungeon Barkeep today. To those of you who've already hopped on, I'm so pleased that your notifications are working, and I'm excited to share this special live stream with you. This will be our last surprise round. It was a fun experiment, and I'm so pleased that so many of you came along for the ride. So all that being said, friends, as you can see, I am still in the elemental plane of Orange. The wizard who is in charge of the magical portal at the back of my bar still thinks it's funny, apparently, to send me to magical planes that I didn't know. And it does make me wonder if you all know the difference between an orange and a walrus. So go ahead and put your answers in the chat, and you know, in a couple minutes, maybe I'll tell you the answer. Maybe I'll forget. Who knows? Both are equally likely. But yeah, what's the difference between an orange and a walrus? In the meantime, I should tell you what we're doing here, in case any of you are new. And by any of you, I mean the people watching after the fact, because I can see who's watching right now, and you're all regulars, and I love you for that. So we are going to be making a special cocktail today, entirely at random, using the roll of some gaming dice to decide all of the ingredients that go into a cocktail, some of the techniques that I use, and the name of that cocktail. Now, I'm no expert mixologist. In fact, I'm barely even a functional person. But I am a DM, I am an adventurer, and I am willing to try whatever the dice give me for your amusement. Seems like a fair trade to me. So, what do you say? Let's get started. And that means we gotta roll our first die. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut over to the dice cam right there, the fancy, fancy dice cam, and you can see our first roll of the night is gonna be this D4. The D4 is gonna pick on an essential mixer for us, and a 1 on the D4 gives me triple sec. So, we're off to a good start. Because what I didn't tell you is that here in the elemental plane of Orange, all of my drinks must feature the orange, the humble orange. So there will be orange in this beverage, and triple sec is going to go nicely with that. Very excited. Let's move on to our next roll. Camera B gives us this D6 on a 3, and that's going to pick a garnish for us. 3 on the garnish chart is olives. So we were off to a good start, and we are no longer off to a good start. Olives, that's going to be gross. And the olives I have on hand today are blue cheese olives, so they should be super uncompatible. Woohoo! That's what the dice are here for, to make things interesting. Otherwise, this would be every other cocktail show. And let me tell you, I watch all of those. They're great. This isn't that. If you want to learn how to make a cocktail properly, go check out How to Drink. If you want to find out how to make a cocktail weirdly, you're in the right place. All right, so our next die is going to be a D8. The D8 is going to help us pick a second mixer, a less essential mixer. That's a 2, which is Sprite. So we're staying in the citrus camp for that at least, just to make that olive stand out even more. Bah. Okay. Now, of course, can't make a cocktail without a liquor, otherwise it's a mocktail. The next die roll is a D10. That's going to pick a liquor for us, so we're back. Oh, I never did move over, so we're still on the camera, on the B cam. There you go. That's a 1 on the liquor chart. And that means we are going to do something flavored. So I have to roll again, and whatever I get, I have to pick a flavored variant of it if I have one. So I'll go back over here. Camera B. Oh, we're getting all the interesting ones today. Okay, so 10s explode in this game. So that means I need to roll 2d10, and I'll take the liquors from both of those. So I'm going to pull that d10 out of the thing again, and we'll roll 2d10 here to get a 9 and a 4. All right, so at least we're stopping there. So if we head on over to the liquor chart, a 9 and a 4 gives me vodka and absinthe. Now, I've learned my lesson about absinthe, and I'm going to put way, way less in so that it doesn't become an absolute disaster, or at least the reason for it becoming an absolute disaster. So, to recap, we have Sprite, we have oranges, we have triple sec, we have vodka, and absinthe, and olives. So, with that all out of the way, let's roll our last 2 dice. We've got a d12 to help us pick a bar term. Now, sometimes these bar terms are things that I will force myself to do. Sometimes it's just something I get to explain. That's a 1 on the bar term chart. 1 on the bar terms chart is chaser. That's kind of fortuitous because I have a feeling I'm going to want a chaser on this one. So a chaser is just another drink that goes with your drink. Usually it's like a shot with a chaser beer, or a cocktail with a chaser shot, or something like that. And the idea is like, if the main drink is super powerful, super potent, super flavorful, overwhelming, you might want a second thing to offset some of that flavor. So that's your option there. Let's check in on the chat, see how you're all doing. Oranges do not have tusks. That's absolutely true. If you add handlebar mustache to either one, you get Ansel Birch. Yeah, I am. I guess I can buy that. I'm a little orange. I think I'm closer to a nectarine, you know, because they've got that fur. Let's see. Walrus hangs out with a carpenter. That's true. That's true, Inkdot. And let's see. The difference between orange and a walrus is one delicious fruit, and the other is a psychedelic song by the Beatles. Yeah, Ancient of Enigmas, good one. Okay. I'm glad you enjoyed that I'm doing an alternate citrus, Psychopyro. I'm glad. Your mom says don't ruin the margarita, just add your garnish on a side plate. Ooh, maybe I'll do that. Maybe my chaser will be olives in something. No, that's not playing the game. Standout olives. Okay, all right. Flavored and the 10s explode. Oh, yes. Yes, and I do have to do flavored vodka, and I don't have any flavored absinthe, so we're just going to have to let that ride, because absinthe is already flavor enough. So I will tell you the answer to the walrus riddle, and then we'll move on to the bar top cam and put this all together. According to this joke website that I looked this up from, I mean the expert jokologist here in the elemental plane of orange, the difference between an orange and a walrus is if you give it a squeeze, you don't get orange juice, and you don't get all orange juice. That's the walrus. So, helpful tip for all of you trying to figure out the difference between an orange and a walrus. Let's pick a name. That was the last thing we have to do before I get completely sidetracked. Here's a D20, the star of the show. I rolled a nat 20, which doesn't mean anything in this particular instance, but it does mean that the name of today's drink is Frag. Which, if you think about the olive as being sort of like a grenade in an otherwise perfectly fine beverage, this makes sense. This makes sense. I can justify almost anything, is what I'm learning after doing this show for almost a year now? Like, I'm only a few months short. Crazy. Let's make a cocktail. So we're going to cut over to the bar top cam. Here we are. Ooh, the bar top. So, once again, we have an orange. We have olives. We have vodka. We have triple sec. We have absinthe. Trying specifically not to put the labels on camera too much, because none of these companies paid me. And we got lemon lime soda, you know, that one. All right, so I'm going to set all of these off to the side now, and let's get a mix-in. So I think the first thing to do is arrange our orange. I am going to go ahead and make a garnish just to be fancy, so we're going to get a spritz of orange zest there. I'll save that for later. There we go. And now, it's not Witch's Brew again, but honestly, it's not that far off, I guess. Well, it's pretty different. All right, so I'm going to put our orange into the juicer. which was so kindly sent to me by a viewer. So thank you to the viewer who sent this, Tom. I still don't know which Tom you are, but I really do appreciate you sending me a citrus juice here. If you want to be like Tom, and I'm not saying you have to, but if you want to, that opportunity is available to you on my website at indecisionist.com/dungeonbarkeep. There's a link in the doobly-doo, and on that page there is a link to my Amazon wish list full of stuff that will help me make this show slightly better. And I don't mean that the quality's going to get better. I mean that, like, I'll have a different tool. Just to be clear, I want to set expectations. All right, so we've juiced half an orange. I'll set this aside. We'll see if we need that later. I have a suspicion that we won't, mostly because I have a tendency to forget about them. All right, so next in is going to be vodka. I'll use my new jigger for this. So we're going to do 1 ounce, well, we'll do 1.5 ounces of vodka. It's not going to add a whole lot of flavor, but I'm cutting the absinthe ratios way, way down. So if I want this to pack the sort of punch we want, that vodka is really going to help the mission. All right, so we're going to do 1/2 ounce of absinthe. There we go. The Witch's Brew was really good. All right, it was actually called the Wicked Witch. And it was delicious. So if you want to watch that one, it's in the stream, in the Dungeon Barkeep stream. You're in the right place to find it. All right, so we've done our absinthe, we've done our vodka. Let's move on to some triple sec. Triple sec is a very sweet addition to this. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a full ounce of that. That should help the absinthe mellow out a little bit. But there is also sweetness in the lemon lime soda, so it doesn't need all that much help. This is already going to be a very sweet cocktail. And that's everything that goes into the shaker. So let's do a couple D6 of cold damage to our beverage. Put those into the big tin. Ooh, they all stuck together. How convenient. Oh, shoot. Yes, it should have been flavored vodka. Oh, well. So the flavored vodka I have is lemon flavored, so it would have just been more of what we're already doing, more citrus. Thank you for calling it out. All right. All right, so we pour that into the big tin, and let's flip over and do the shake. All right. So the ice has broken up. I don't need to do much more than that for this. We're not going for a particular effect. We've made it cold. We've mixed it. That should be plenty. Ooh, it's got a nice little foam to it. Let's see. Frag feels like a rocks glass kind of beverage. So let's grab a strainer and we'll strain the frag into a rocks glass. Patty Smith says, the spouse just walked through when you said, let's do the shake, and he proceeded to shake his shoulders as he walked by. Tell the spouse, thank you. That's exactly what we're going for. That's fun. I like fun. All right, I'm going to cover the label as I open this can of lemon lime soda and top this off. All right, so just for the sake of science, I'm going to taste this now and then see how much the olive ruins it. Interesting. Do they make orange flavored anise candy? Because that's what this is. That's what this is. It's orange flavored anise candy. It's sweet. It tastes heavily of citrus, and it's got like this anise scent that assaults you, and then also informs the flavor of the whole thing. It's not bad if you're into anise. I could see people drinking this on purpose. I could see it happening. All right, so get a cocktail sword, get a couple blue cheese olives in here. These are nice big fat queen olives. And I'll just pop it onto the edge there. And there you have it. I'll let them sit for a second for full potency. It looks so orange for a green can. You're right. The lemon lime soda does look awfully orange for a green can. Well done, Psycho Pyro. Good observation. Oh goodness. Oh, the color change on the camera does not like this color. So let's flip to the bar top cam just so you can see it in its actual coloration. There we go. That's still not doing it super justice. Oh, okay. Yeah, looks like I need to change my color balance, but yeah, it's pretty orange. I'm not gonna lie to you. So now that the olives have had a chance to sit for full potency, okay, so the good news is olives in their raw form, it appears, aren't really going to inform the beverage all that much unless it's got lots of delicate flavors. So because there's just so much going on, that olive is completely hidden. If there's any olive flavor getting in there, you'd never know it. Yeah, the blue cheese should be super. Yeah. They're good olives. They're just not. They're not going to do anything with that volume of liquid and that assertiveness of flavor. There's just a lot going on there, and the olives can't compete. I think maybe if I made it like pretty dirty, I could get some olive flavor in there, but having just eaten an olive that's been in here, honestly, I don't think it's going to do any favors to either. So, yeah, so the question is, what chaser should I make? And I think the best way to pick a chaser for something like this is to go ahead and do a second round. You know, sometimes the boss doesn't go down the first time. Sometimes you got to make an extra little. Oh, and I forgot. Look at me. I tried to get fancy with my garnish and completely forgot about the round of orange that I had. There it is. Look at that. Look at that little fancy thing. That's what goes on the edge of that cocktail. There we go. All right, so I'm going to set that aside, and let's roll 2d10 and make us a chaser shot. I think that makes good sense. So I'm going to flip over to camera B. Here's my 2d10. I'll dump these out. There we go. All right, I got a 9 and a 2, which on the liquors chart gives me vodka and rum. Okay, vodka and rum. This could be an interesting shot. I am just going to go ahead and make it in the same shaker. Just dump that into the cocktail. Oh, that might do it some favors. All right, so it's going to be lightly flavored with what we just made, because that's how life is sometimes. So we're going to flip over to the bar top. Apologies for the mess. It's all stuff that we just did. So here we go. There's our shaker. We'll put stuff into the small tin the way you're supposed to. There you go. Get that out of the way. So, Gonna do an ounce of vodka. Keep in mind that I have 2-ounce shot glasses, so that's why I am doing more than is advisable for the amount that you want to put into a normal people shot glass. So there's our vodka. Blam. Here's our rum. And not to over gild the lily, but I want to appreciate a different fan who sent me this jigger recently. I super love it. It's great. Look how clear the markings are inside. It's so nice. All right, so there's that. We're going to shake it with a little bit of ice to cool it down. And then that'll be our shot. So pour that in there. Pop it closed. And shake. That sounds like plenty. All right. And I think the last thing to figure out is what are we going to call this shaker or this second shot. So let's go ahead and roll that d20 again. What did I get? A 3. So a 3 on the names chart means that this is orc blood. So we've got frag. Oh, I see what you were saying earlier, because the list is different on here than it was on my cue sheet. All right. This is Witch's Brew. This, gosh, I am so good at this, is Orc Blood. Okay. Witch's Brew, Orc Blood. Citrusy, Orc Blood. Aggressively meh. Yeah, the vodka really thins out the rum and doesn't leave a whole lot behind. That's a good spiced rum, super flavorful, but doesn't really stand up, which makes sense for something the orcs are gonna drink. It tastes a little rot-gutty, you know. It's like a clear spirit that had a little something happen to it. So, thank you for being right, Inkdot. Thank you for paying attention, everybody. Thank you for enjoying this stream. Thank you for joining me for surprise rounds. And if you're coming in after the fact, thank you for joining us. If you're new here, click the subscribe button and the bell and the thingy and, you know, all the stuff down there that all the other YouTubers tell you to do. Comment on the video. You know, that stuff really does help. This channel is mostly here for fun, but if it becomes successful enough, I'll do more stuff for it. You know, that's fun too. I am trying to get to 500 subscribers, at which point I will put Malort onto the rail. But honestly, I'm just enjoying that you're all here to enjoy the videos. So until next time, friends, drink adventurously.